Hello, everyone. A new setting for you today. This is my friend Sandy, who lives in Shaughnessy in Vancouver. And so we're here today with really good internet. So we're going to have a continuous class. And I'm so glad you're joining me today for Restoring Ourselves. Namaste. The class today is called Karma. And we're going to talk a little bit about karma. And I guess in life we have beliefs. And one of my strong beliefs, I believe in karma. So this for me makes my heart go sweet when I talk about karma and share with you some stretching and breathing in karma. Who do I have here today? I have my lovely Margot. Margot lives in Vancouver and she also lives next door to me at Gambier. So she came to visit you today to share the practice and to be with us today. We have a mat and we have a block and we have a strap and we have a pillow. So if you can have all those things to recruit, that would be wonderful. I'd like you to start today lying down and making a choice as you lie down. Would you like something behind your head, especially at the beginning of the practice, like a pillow? Especially if you're finding your fascia is tight, your connective tissue, the tissue that goes from the top of the head to your toes. So make your way onto the ground in whatever frame your body is taking you. And I always like to progress into my practice by appreciating that the mat is here for me. It's like a really good friend that we sometimes forget to say hello to, but today we're thanking the mat for being there. And in life, I find I want a sanctuary or a spot where I know in life that I can go to. And I feel my whole spirit go, just not my breath, just that whole part of me just relaxes into the floor. So you might feel at your ankles, let's do a body scan. You might feel a little bit pushed into the floor and your toes might want to wiggle or your arches. So just feel your feet and maybe sway your lower legs side to side, and maybe your hips, just move them around just to feel a little bit of, I'm alive. And then I want you to stop and then feel a little bit of an arch in your spine. As I've talked about before, we really shouldn't have this little tiny spine because it doesn't have very much structure to hold us up. That's why we have so many back problems, because we've got to work those muscles around the spine because it's so little to hold us up. We should have been on all four like dogs. And we also have that little arch, so it kind of has more pressure on our lower back. And then come up and feel your shoulders softly gliding into the floor. And maybe your arms are sinking a bit deeper. And maybe your hands want to move around a little bit to say, hey, I'm here. And I'm going to give myself the privilege for the next hour to just listen to my body and listen to the words. And then turn your head right to left and feel the stickiness of anything that you're feeling around your neck. And if there's one side that you'd like to turn to hold, just pause there and just maybe move your mouth around and see whether you can actually move your ear as you move your mouth around. See if there's some movement around your ear pulling on that area. And then turn your nose a little bit further and see if you can get a little bit more rotation. And then move your jaw around again. And then come back to center and try the other side, the one that's not so sticky, and see how that feels for you on that side. This is a restful position because so often we're sitting tall and our head is 12 pounds. Move that jaw around. And if we're sitting at our computers, we're taking that 12 pounds in front of our spine, and that poor spine says, oh my gosh. So really come back to center and tuck your chin into your chest. Open your mouth with a take one hand to belly and the other hand to heart. So you're connecting with your gut. And we know through the research now that The gut and the brain and the heart are not isolated, they're all connected. So by placing our hands on there, the palms of our hands, we're really feeling the connection of the gut and the heart. So I want you to take yourself now to the right leg. And I want you to listen to the lower back as you softly start to bend the knee on the right and slide it along the floor until the foot is flat. And feel on the right side of your body how it kind of rounds under. And then let's listen again to the left side as we pull that in and slowly feel the torso rounding. So if ever we're in the practice where your legs are straight and your back feels strained, just bend your knees and bring your feet flat to the ground. Just round your back into the floor. And sometimes it even feels better if we take one knee to chest, right hand to knee, and the left hand to the knee and bring them in. And we feel even more now connection to support of our back. And that's why many days we do legs up the wall, because it sustains that position. Now let's pull on those back muscles by flexing the heels and pulling the knees into chest. So just pull, release, pull, release. So we've gone from an extension position with our legs straight to a neutral position to now to a flexion and a stretch position. Very nice. Now, as slow as you can, bring your feet to the floor and bring the soles of the feet together. Walk your feet in as close to your groin as your body feels that it wants to be. And we're focusing once again on subtle motion. Do you feel an arch in your back? Do you feel a pull on the inner thigh of your groin in those 5 adductor muscles are called? I want you to, as slow as you can now, on the right side, feel the back coming into the floor and slowly starting to contract the muscles of the inner thigh by bringing slowly the kneecap into center. So slowly bring it all the way up. Listen to your back, listen to your inner thigh until your foot is flat. Pause. Open your mouth with a ha. And then the other side. Listen so carefully. Yoga teaches us subtleties of life. And it feels so good to sometimes be really subtle. So let's change now the genre of subtle to free and flinging. So I'd like you to take your right knee in and out, just flop it, and feel the difference of just this joyous difference in life. We want to be free and play. We want to be quiet and watch. This is what yoga does. It teaches us all the different commodities of ways to live. And then let that right knee fall down to the ground and take your right hand and softly push now down on that knee. And take your left hand to your hip and softly push down on the hip. So now we're pushing on the leg on the right and the hip on the left to increase the stretch crosswise on the back. A little bit more. Then let's add our breath, that beautiful white healing light, keeping your mouth closed. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Fill yourself up. And then as you exhale, empty everything and try to pull your belly button right back into the ground. And when you've completed that, do 3 more at your own pace. I'm listening. I'm opening up my inner thigh and my hip. And then slowly release your right hand to the floor, the left hand to the floor. Releasing your voice, take a deep inhale and open up your mouth with a ha. And then once again, as slow as you can, bring that right knee. Listen to your back. Listen to your hip. and listen to it all. So what's karma? Karmic actions, either psychologically doing something or thinking something, or actually physically doing something, an action. A karmic action we call an imprint or seed upon our mind stream. And the imprints ripen over and over again when we practice karma. Whatever happiness or fortune we experience in our lives comes from positive karma of thought and positive karma of action. And the same thing, if karmically you're negative, you're thinking negative thoughts, probably it will cause misfortune and unhappiness. It's as simple as that. Wow, you're kidding. Let's go to the left leg now. Let's flop that left leg in and out and just be really playful in the hips and go, whoa, hips, I love you. You can move around and I am not going to be tight through my lower back and hips. Keep rocking and rolling and feeling the joy of opening up the inner thigh, the lateral movement of the hip. Beautiful. Couple more. And then let that leg lie down and take the left hand or palm into the inner thigh and take the right hand to the hip. And do you want to just lie there with your hands tactilely connecting with your skin? Or do you want to do some breaths where you push on both sides? Yoga is so much about learning choices and what feels good for you and what feels right for your body. So karmatically, happiness happens in your body when you stay with those good thoughts, those seeds of fortune within you. You're really focusing on opening the hips and the back and the inner thigh. You're patient and waiting and watching. And then both hands come down by your side. And how slow can you move that knee back in? How slow can you feel every micro movements in your leg? And once you get there, open up your mouth with a ha. I love these quotes on karma. What you put out to the universe will come back to you always. As you sow, so shall you reap. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You get back the same energy you put out. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Wow. Very slowly straighten the legs along the ground. Open up your mouth as you move. And stretch your arms in H shape above your head. And give yourself some arching pulls, like really feel the back really going into an arch before we start our slow bridges that we're going to do. Yes. Bring your arms down by your side and pause. I think my favorite quote of all is this quote for karma. Karma means both action and memory. Not just action forward, but what's happening about all that rumination? Do you want to develop good karma? You got to have that memory selection and not ruminate. Developing your memory karma. And you got to really, karma means both action forward and memory past. Because we want to take the responsibility for our destinies. and our lives through our karma. Let's take our pillow away now, if you have it behind your head. And pause a moment and bend the knees and bring the feet flat to the floor. You're going to look around and you're going to pick up, I'm sorry, I should have told you before, your block and put it between the knees. This allows you to put the toes directly forward to begin with and to have your feet hip width apart. Some of us, when we come up into bridge, do what's called an external rotation where the knees flop out to the side. We want to use the inner thigh as well as the buttocks. As soon as the knees flop out to the side, we lose the quadricep, the front of the thigh stretch, as well as a lot of the inner thigh work. So let's just start very slowly by just rolling your belly and rib cage into floor and really pull it, really pull it. See if you can like really pull it down. So you're starting to stretch. You're widening all those rib cages. And then you're just going to lift your tail off the floor, just your tail, nothing else. Rib cage stays on. And you're going to try to pull your butt apart. And then you're going to slowly roll down and relax. Open your mouth with that. So we're trying to get into what's called our sacrum, which is the lowest part of the back, and do some subtle motion of pulling. So once again, belly button into floor, rib cage, tailbone lifts, and we pull where the tailbone is. We imagine the butt muscles coming apart, releasing tension in that sacrum where by sitting we get so tense, and then roll back down. Again, belly, just now pull, really focus, good, and roll down. And one last time, roll. And then come down. Open your mouth with that. Now, those back muscles need to be pulled in another direction. So bring both knees into chest with the block. Flex your heels and pull your tail on and off the ground. So now we're just releasing some motion in your lower back. And we're now going to increase the lift up into bridge. But we're going to keep that rolling off the floor. So bring your feet back down to the floor. And make sure your toes are facing forward, still holding onto your block and hands down by your side. And once again, roll the belly into floor and lift the tail. Now start squeezing the rib cage into floor as you peel vertebra by vertebra right up to your shoulders. So it's a slow lift, making sure you're not flat lifting. You're trying to get mobility in the spine and the ribs, and you lift right to the top. And when we get there, we want to strengthen the adductors, the inner thigh muscles. So I'd like you to squeeze as hard as you can all the way down the leg on your block. Hold it as much as you can. Now, can you lift it up on both toes in this position with squeezing and back down? So up and down, working the toe joints, but keeping the squeeze. Very nice. Beautiful karmic action. And what will be the result of your action? Happiness in the feet. Strengthen the feet. Remember, if you do good actions in life, there is a reward. Last two. Last one. And then very slowly roll down. Take your block away. Bring the soles of the feet together. Lift your chest up and walk your hands down to your feet. So soles of your feet are together. So lift your chest up, lift your feet up. Hold on to your legs and lift your chest up as high as you can. Really letting go. That's it. Now push your tail into the floor. Push, push. Squeeze your kneecaps super wide. Keep the breath flowing here a little bit longer just to release those beautiful workload of muscles that we did. And then can you quietly put your head back down and still hold on to your legs? And then hold on to your big toes now. And just lift your heels to sky. Doesn't matter how bent or straight, just lift them to sky. And just hold it there. We're releasing the arches of the feet and the toes that we did all that workload for. Beautiful. Hold that pose a moment more. You might decide that you want to bend and extend your legs or bring your legs in and out. I mean, what do you feel like in this position that you want to do? Maybe you want to go into happy baby, it's called, where you bring the knees down into the armpits. What do you want to do right now in this position? I'm getting to know what my actions of karma will lead me to a great body. Yes. Nice. And then slowly bring the arches together of the feet and bring them to the floor and let the knees drop out and just let the body sit. Open your mouth with a bring your arms above your head in the letter Y. Let the rib cage fan and relax. One of the people in my life who's one of my heroes is a guy called Joseph Goldstein, and I listen to him and meditate with him often. He had an article in Tricycle magazine called Cause and Effect and Reflecting on the Law of Karma. He says, coming to an understanding of karma is the basis for a very straightforward development of wisdom to know whether our actions will lead to happiness and freedom or to further and future suffering. When we understand this, it allows us to take responsibility for our past actions with an attitude of compassion rather than rumination, appreciating that a particular act may have been unwholesome or harmful, and strongly determining not to be repeated again. He said, in view of karmic law, guilt and shame are inappropriate feelings and a rather useless burden. It simply creates more unwholesome results of karma. So focus on the future actions of doing good to yourself and others. Do good to the world, create energy for positive thoughts and actions. Drop the remuneration of the past and save your energy for the future. When we understand that unfair, harmful, or hateful actions rebound in suffering to the person that is committing this, then we may change our thought pattern of karma. Open your mouth with a slowly pull your rib cage down, your shoulders down, your belly into the floor, and squeeze your tail into the floor and pull your mula bandha up to 10 out of 10. This is all of what we call an internal caress of all your organs, and then let it all go with a really make a sound. Again, shoulders, belly, ribs, everything. Mula bandha up to 10 out of 10. Really pull, 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 and then let it all go with a One last time. Here we go. Pull, pull everything in. Oh, I love it. Mula bandha, squeeze. Use those internal organs. Let it go with a Bring our hands down by our side and pause. Watch and feel. Now, how slow can you bring your knees together? Watch and feel. And now the body is calling for some twists. Pause and wait. So I have 4 reflections for you about karma and a quote from a famous individual about that karma question or thought or reflection. Bring the right heel on top of the left knee. Bring our arms out into T shape with palm facing down, giving that balance. And start rocking your knees right to left, just letting the hips go into this rotation of the back and the legs. And I want you to really listen carefully. Were you tight? Where is it pulling on what side? Can you go a little further maybe as you warm your back in the lower back twist? Can you bring your knees maybe a little closer to the ground and pull a little bit more on the hip joint, the muscles around the hip? And on the last one, bring your legs over to the right with the right heel on top. And just start to roll that left hip to the end of its range, roll it forward, and then fire the buttocks. And then release the buttocks and just slightly roll it back. And continue that rocking through what we call our hip flexor, the front of the thigh that has some muscles that go through the hip joint. We want to make sure that we're stretching our quadriceps and all that muscle down the side. And then you might even decide to roll your hip forward and squeeze your butt and send white healing light of breath to somewhere that the body is feeling this pose. You choose where you're going to send it, because I can't know, because I'm not there in your body. This is why I find yoga so exciting, because you really are the teacher. I'm just the facilitator. You teach your body what it needs. The body will teach you what it needs. And then release if you're at your butt and keeping your heel on top. Roll back up to center, and the foot on the left is in center mat, and just pause. And flap that right knee. Just flap it around or move it or anything that feels good for you. Open up your mouth with a and then lift up your chest and take your left hand to the foot and your right hand to the outside of the knee. And lift the chest a bit higher, so my right hand's on the outside of the knee. And I'm going to draw a straight line from my knee to my foot and bring it off my left leg. And then bring my head down to the ground and start pulling it to the left, release, left, release. My heel is being pulled to keep that straight line. My hip joint is being pulled to have fluidity. And then pull it to the left, and then take your right butt and pull it down into the ground. Pull, pull, really pull, 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 pull. And then bring the whole leg into your face as you keep that butt to ground. And then take your breath and have like huge, ginormous white healing lights of breaths anywhere your body needs it. Then take the two fingers of the left hand and wrap them around the right big toe. Straighten the leg on the left along the floor and put the right heel somewhere on the leg on the left. Then let the knee drop down towards the floor on the right and give it a little flap. And then take that right hand in H shape above your head and let the rib cage just fan. And then slowly pull that right shoulder down, the rib cage down, and the belly into floor. And then squeeze your right butt and hold. And then let it all go. Open your mouth with a let's do that again. Right shoulder, rib cage down. Butt pulls into floor, squeezes. Kneecap pushes down. Feeling what we call our sartorius, which is a muscle that connects right at the pubic bone, and it kind of bows and it gets super tight with the quad, and let it go. Open your mouth with that. One last time. Here we go. Push, pull. And then let it go with that. So keep holding on with that left hand somewhere on the leg of the foot. And start to bend the knee on the left and bring the foot to the floor. And then take your right hand now to the inside of the thigh, and your palm is on the inside, and you're going to push your palm away from your body. Push, push, push. And then you're going to lift that left foot off the ground as you keep pushing, bringing it into the chest, the left knee. Keep pushing and pulling and feeling it. Yeah, beautiful practice, everyone. One more breath. And then slowly straighten both legs along the ground and feel the reverberation of your pose. Open your mouth with a 4 reflections on karma. Number 1, how do you cherish and love yourself? Do you take responsibility for loving yourself? Standing in your own bright light, knowing that you're full of goodness, not reaching out to have others having to give you accolades. You have the karmic living. Buddha says, when we change who and what is in our heart, our lives will follow suit and change too. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it outside. How do you cherish and love yourself? Bend the knees, bring them hip width apart, turn your toes out and rock your knees side to side. Very nice, beautiful practice, everybody. Come back up to center. Find your block again. Bring the block between the knees. This time I want to focus on the adductor muscles now, the inner thigh muscles, because the outer thigh gets way stronger than the inner. So if we can focus on inner thigh strength, there's a good balance at the hip. So turn your toes so they touch and really fan your heels. So as far out as you can go. And then roll up into bridge. And then just fire as much as you can, focusing on the inner thigh muscles. The inner thigh muscles, focus, focus, that's it. Focusing on the inner thigh. Squeeze. Oh, we've got these great, strong, strong muscles around the hips. Beautiful. Couple more breaths. The literature is showing we must do strength work at least 2 to 3 times a week. Isometric contraction builds up lean muscle mass. Isometric is held contraction, focus contraction, continuous contraction. Couple more breaths, overloading. And then slowly, vertebra by vertebra, roll down. Pause for a moment. Take your block away. Lift your chest up, bring the soles of the feet together, walk your hands down your leg as far as you can go. Let the knees drop out, really pull on your shoulders, open your mouth with a really widen at your butt. Really widen, and then bring your head back down and hold it there. You might have to move your hands down. Keep pulling the kneecaps wide. And then lift the chest up again and hold on to the big toes with your 2 fingers. And lift the heels to sky and bring your chest back down and play around. Play around. I feel so childlike. No, childish. No, childlike. I feel, oh, you can feel childish if you want. I just want to move around and put a smile on my face and feel that karmic joy flowing all through my body. Yes. Right this second, life is good. Because tomorrow it might not, but we got that karmic strength that we've practiced. Keep going. Keep moving around in your space. Feels great. Oh, I'm discovering new shapes. Discovering new ways that my body wants to move right now. And then slowly, I start to bend the knees and straighten my legs along the floor. Bring my arms above my head and relax and open my mouth with a A second reflection on karma. Is there something in your heart that you would like to change? There's something in your heart you'd like to change. Don't figure out how, just say it. And I love Barack Obama's statement. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we can seek. Bend your knees. Take your left heel on top of the right knee. Take your arms out into the letter T shape with palms facing down and start rocking, whatever fast or slow. Pulling on the hip joint in both ways. Right now, I want you to really focus on where you feel the pull. And I want you to take white healing lights of breath into that area, like really use the oxygenation to fill those areas that you need. And maybe there's a pause somewhere. Maybe there's a beautiful thought into that hip. You seem to be opening up some more. And then you say to yourself, oh, it's because I showed up to class. Good girl, good boy. You showed up. Can you see if there's any more movement to bring them slightly closer to the ground, or maybe you've gone far enough for today? Watching your twists if you have any back injury. And then take your legs over to the left side. I'd like you to try to ignite the roll in your right hip, not the squeeze of the butt first. So see if you can activate a roll forward. And then when you get to the end of the roll, then you fire the right butt and you hold it. Asking all the muscles at the side of the leg that connect to the hip to stretch. And then you release and you slightly roll back and you're contracting and the muscle thinks that you're going to relax. But to get more of a stretch, you're going to trick it and you're going to do it again. Roll it forward, squeeze the butt, hold it forward. And then release, roll back. Do 2 or 3 more at whatever pace. Some of us might even hold the pose without moving through it. You choose. If you're a cyclist, especially, or a long distance runner, this muscle at the side of the thigh gets super tight and it causes lots of knee and back problems. So this is a really good stance if you do a lot of biking or hiking or walking. Just to pull on that muscle at the side of the leg. Then release and slowly come back up to center. Make sure your foot is in mid-mat of the right foot and pause. Just feel the juice. Feels so good. Then lift your head and take your right hand to your foot and your left hand to the outside of the knee. And start to pull it away from your knee on the right, and see if you can draw a straight line from the heel to the knee. And then bring your head back down and start pulling the leg to the right and release, right, release, right, release, right, release. Ah, yeah. Once again, pulling on the fiber of the hip. And then pull it to the right. And then pull your hip on the left to the left. So pull down and out with that left hip. And then pull that whole leg in towards your face with that position. Like pull it in. Keep that butt reaching towards the ground. Beautiful. A couple more breaths here. Then take the 2 fingers of the right hand to the left big toe. Extend the leg on the right along the floor and bring that left heel into the groin and let the right kneecap drop down. And pause for a moment, let the back arch. And then take your left arm up an H shape right above your head with palm turned in. And let your back just relax. Open your mouth with a and pull your shoulder down. Pull your ribs into the ground and squeeze the left buttocks and push the kneecap down. Hold. And then let everything go and pause. And then that shoulder comes down on the left rib cage. Butt squeeze, kneecap down. Hold. It's called lying tree. When we stand up, this is a position, and release. And one last time. And then release. Bring that left hand down by your side and pause. Bend the knee on the right and put the foot flat on the floor and pause. Take the palm of the left hand to the inside of the knee. Push on the palm on the left. And lift the right foot off the ground towards your chest. So the right leg is lifting towards your chest. Right foot is off the ground. And we're holding the leg on the left on top of the right knee. Right foot is pulling into chest as much as you can. Keep pulling that right knee into chest. One more breath here. And then slowly extend the legs along the ground and open your mouth with a the reverberation is magnificent. The magnitude is like this wash over you. Stay with the wash, stay with the wash, stay with the flush. Reflection number 3. What past actions or behaviors, thoughts, and deeds in your life have created karmic debt? A lessening of karma in your life. I love Mother Teresa's words. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. So we're going to pick up our strap now, and we're going to wrap our strap around our right foot. And then we're going to wrap the strap around our left foot. And we're going to widen the legs and have some fun with this We're going to be using the strap now to stretch our quadricep muscle and to take our back into an arch. So bring the feet back in and take the right foot out of the strap. And slowly, with the pillow behind your head, so make sure you have something soft behind your head, you're going to start to bend the knee on the left and turn towards me, bringing that left kneecap behind your body and the strap to your shoulder. And I'm going to try to take that knee way behind me, that upper knee way behind me, and then put my toe on the ground if I can. And I'm going to try to bring my knee towards the sky with my toe on the ground. And I'm feeling, many of us who have tight quads will feel it in the quads or the hips. Beautiful. And I'm holding that pose. I might even pull on my strap a bit more to cause some more tension. It's up to you. Play around with it. And then you're going to send white healing light to those hips. Ooh, beautiful. And now we're going to work with coordination. How easily can you move onto your belly, holding the strap where it is at your shoulder and your foot, and come up into Sphinx position. Start to bend the knee on the left and stay in Sphinx position, and leave that other leg long, the one without the strap in it. Lift the heart to see if you can get more arch in your spine, and pause for a moment there. And maybe rock our hips side to side or move around a little bit through our hips. Whew. By circling, you're going to feel a little bit different shape in your spine. Hard move for some of us, so be very careful. Nice. And then I'm going to hold the strap evenly at my shoulder. And I'm going to bring my forehead onto my pillow. And I might even walk up my strap to have more tension. You decide. And then I'm going to keep the long leg where it is, but move the bent knee to touch the long leg. So move it in. So we get all 4 quadricep muscles. You might even walk up your strap some more and push your kneecap on the left into ground. You might even squeeze your buttocks to give more of a stretch at the top of the hip. You choose. Now stay where you are. Lift the kneecap on the left off the ground. You can hold it. That's big strength for the hamstring and the arch, and bring it back down. We've got 2 more. Some of us might even cramp. Lift up. Hold. Feel that hamstring back of leg and down. And one last time. Pull. And slowly down. Oh, that was a lot of movement and coordination. So now I challenge you again to, as easily as possible, to roll on your back and bring the strap into both arches of your feet. And lift the heels to sky. And move the arches around anyway, or the legs all around. Ah, yeah, really feels good. Ooh, you know what's coming, don't you? Got that beautiful coordination feeling in your body. Make sure your strap is even on both sides so that you can pull on it evenly. And then take the left leg out of the strap. And we're going to start to bend, making sure that your pillow is there. Bend the knee. We're going to turn to the left and bring that kneecap on the right way behind you. And bring the strap up to your shoulder. And get that knee way behind you before you move. And the toe on the ground. And when you're ready with your pull, if you think that you've pulled hard enough on the strap, you start to lift that right knee to sky. Just roll it up to sky as much as you can. and hold that external rotation at that hip. Is there more or less on this hip? Is there more quad pull on this hip? Just listen. Keep it going, you're doing great. Keep the breath going. One more breath here. We're coming out of this a bit differently than we did the last one. We're going to roll over onto our stomach and come again up onto our elbows, keeping that knee bent, pushing our hip into floor, and walking both kneecaps together. We're going to lift up as high as we can into our arch again and squeeze the buttocks of the bent knee. Some of us will cramp. It's very natural to cramp. When I first started yoga, oh my gosh, I thought, I don't think I can do this yoga stuff because I'd done so much aerobics that I cramped so much because I hadn't stretched enough or strengthened the right muscles. Couple more breaths here. Fire that buttocks. And if the body will allow, you can lift the knee up slightly off the ground or not. A couple of times up and down. We're coming out of this a bit differently than we did last time. Let go of your strap now and make your way back into child's pose as slowly as your body will allow. Now from child's pose, you might find that, I think I want to do a down dog, or maybe a plank, or maybe a cat-cow. I want you for the next few minutes to say, where does my body want to move, or does my body want to stay still where it is? So you choose your positioning, cat-cow possibly, downward dog possibly, maybe even a plank. You feel like a little strength in your shoulders and belly. Are you asking yourself, what do I need right now? You are your greatest teacher. We're teaching ourselves to listen to our body and know what we like and need. And when you're ready, make your way one more time back to child's pose. Open your mouth with a reflection number 3. How much time do you spend in the past with shame and guilt? Or how much time do you spend in the future with fear? And how much time do you really revel in the moment? Compassion and kindness. When I went to India, I've been 4 times, and one of the time I went to Osho's ashram in Pune, India. He died in the late 70s, but this is one of my favorite quotes of his. The past is no more, and the future is not yet. Both are unnecessarily moving in directions which do not exist. One used to exist, but no longer exists. And the other one is not even started. The only right person is one who lives in this moment and the next moment. Life repeats itself. mindlessly unless you become mindful and make choices. It will go on like a repeating wheel if you are not mindful. Slowly roll over onto your back. And this day we're going to do a side lying Shavasana. So I'd like you to turn to your right side and put the pillow behind your head and the block between your knees. And I'd like you to bring the knees really close up to the chest and your hands really close to your heart, and be really, really small and really, really comfortable. Hugging yourself. Last thought. What guilt are you holding on to? What buzz of drama do you get thriving on the old shame and guilt? Brené Brown says, shame, blame, betrayal, and withholding of affection of yourself or others damages us at the roots. Love can only survive if these injuries are acknowledged, healed, acknowledged, and healed. Karmic question. Do you try to control others? Maybe because in certain situations, you are definitely out of control. Who do you control in your life and why? I love these quotes. You always seek to control others when you are not in full ownership of yourself. A bird cannot love freely when they are caged. Domineering types may appear omnipotent, but inevitably will smother everything they love and lose it all. And lastly, control leaves no room for trust. Breathe in, I feel calm. Exhale, I smile, for this moment is the perfect moment never to come again. Breathe in, I feel calm. Exhale, I smile. This moment is the perfect moment never to come again. Breathe in, I feel calm. Exhale, I smile. This moment is the perfect moment never to come again. Breathe in, I feel calm. Exhale, I smile. This moment is the perfect moment never to come again. Few ha breaths. Start to put your fingers and palms into the ground. Pause for a moment and thank Mother Earth for being here with us today and for you showing up in class. And when your body's ready, come up to sitting. Karma, go forth. Kind words, kind actions. Karma, let go of the past and move on to the moment. Thank you, Margot, for the practice today. Thank you all for the practice. Namaste. May the light, love, and karmatic belief in you salute the karmatic belief in me. Namaste. Namaste.